Hello YouTube and welcome to my top 5 best Hot Toys figures of 2018. This is my personal top 5 Hot Toys figures of the year. Releases which I purchased and think deserve some special recognition on how great they are. My channel has been around for a while, but 2018 was the first year where I actually narrated videos and did full reviews of figures. Before this year, I just shot videos and pictures and made them in a slideshow, which I had been doing since 2007, most of which was just Gundam models. Speaking of which, I don't even remember the last time I reviewed Gundam. Gomenasai. Before we get to the top 5, I want to give a shout out to this year's die-cast Iron Man Mark V release. If you're a regular to my channel, you know this is my favorite design of Iron Man ever. I just really like the simple colors of silver and red. This figure looks fantastic with the simplistic colors, but it's enhanced greatly with the use of die-cast parts. The video review was also my first ever speaking review on YouTube, which shows with my very monotone voice. It's a great figure, and this would actually be the top figure which I would never consider selling off, unlike my past Hot Toys figures. Please come back. At the number 5 position, it's the new Dark Lord of the Galaxy. He's a character that I did not initially like and thought was not right for the new Star Wars trilogy. So why in the world did I get this figure? Because the character slowly grew on me, and after rewatching the movies countless times, he's my favorite character of the new trilogy. And I also missed out on the original Hot Toys Force Awakens version of Kylo, which did not have an exposed head unlike this figure, and it's the best thing going for it. The head sculpt, specifically the face, really captures his attitude quite well, especially those deep and scornful eyes. You can just feel his stubborn and creepy ways just peering into those eyes. It's one of the best head sculpts the company has produced, replicating Adam Driver's severe bone structure and identifiable nose. Aside from the well-designed face, the figure has got a fantastic set of threads, which are some of the most unique and interesting set of clothing I've ever come across. From the nylon-like pants to the double-stitched vest, Hot Toys use some interesting material choices, and it's put together very well. Another notable accessory is the helmet, which is detailed to the max, with the silver outlines of eyes to the battle-damaged and worn surface. I mean, this thing looks like it's been through the ringer more than a few times. And it doesn't hurt that it works well with other 1/6 scale bodies, which I've used a few times on my Kylo Ren specials. At number 4 is the God of Thunder, the savior of the universe, or so we thought. Thor from the movie Infinity War. If there was one figure I was definitely going to get from that movie, it was going to be Thor. And like his cinematic appearance, this Hot Toys figure does not disappoint, featuring another good face sculpt of Chris Hemsworth and his dark and dramatic outfit, which melds modern fashion like these utility pants to high fantasy, from the armored vest to the regal-like blood-red cape. Truth be told, we've seen this similar face sculpt before in the Thor Ragnarok figure, which also was released this year. But this head utilizes an effect which I did not expect to like whatsoever, and adds another dimension to the whole figure. Using UV lights, the eyes come alive as they glow blue and give the rest of the figure a violet coloring, appearing like an after effect from the eyes, or more realistically originating from the lightning effects streaming from the sides of Thor's chest. I'm not a fan of effects in general, and I was really not expecting to like the look. But for me, this is how the figure should appear all the time. It absolutely looks amazing like this. Pairing the eyes effect and the chest lightning effects equals a very dramatic and electrifying look for the God of Thunder. I'm not saying this is a bad figure, but if it wasn't for the effects, this wouldn't be on the list. The effects just add so much more to the figure. If you're not a fan of effects, you will be after this figure. At number 3 is the original Dark Lord of the Galaxy, Darth Vader. This version of Darth Vader, which was made specifically to the specifications of the suit in the movie The Empire Strikes Back, looks marvelous as Hot Toys replicated the noticeable glossy shine of the helmet and shoulders. This is a great version of Vader in all his glory, capturing the evil and mechanical attributes of the terror of the galaxy, which are aided with a ton of some cool hands to better show Vader's dark nature and powers, from stopping Han Solo's laser blast to triumphantly pumping a fist after a victory. The figure also comes with the best base of any figure on this list, showing an atmosphere platform on Cloud City where Vader had his climactic battle with Luke Skywalker. The base is well detailed and comes with a couple of light-up features. More importantly, it fits with Vader perfectly, especially with his blade in motion. With this release, you get a base that's just as awesome as the figure. At number 2, Iron Spider from the movie Avengers: Infinity War. I had a very tough time picking number 1 and number 2 and came very close to having the Iron Spider take the top position. The figure looks amazing with the vibrant red and blue colors with the gold trimming. It's not too dark and not too light, it's just right. And to be fair, the makers at Hot Toys were working on making a suit that already had a kick-ass design of one of the best renditions of Spider-Man's suit. And there's enough articulation found throughout the body to get Spider-Man in some dynamic poses, with the suit and the accessories and a slew of hands that will inspire you to pose Iron Spider in countless ways. It would be a crime to have him just stand there. Although there is one catch, and it's also the reason why he's not at the top of the list. The figure suit is made out of a plastic-like material which scrunches up at various points during articulation. I'm completely fine with that, but lines appear afterwards. Although for the time being they disappear after some time, I'm kind of wary about the long term. And it's actually stopped me from keeping the Iron Spider in an action-oriented pose for long periods of time. But the look of the suit, as well as the addition of some cool accessories like the Tom Holland head and the iron pincers, almost makes up for that issue. When I saw Infinity War, I absolutely hated the iron pincers and really preferred Iron Spider without them. But the SH Figure Arts figure and this Hot Toys version has made me do a complete 180. The pincers look just as cool as the figure and are a must when posing the Iron Spider, adding to that dynamic and modern look of the suit. And the top prize goes to Gladiator Hulk, a massive and well put together figure that stands literally and figuratively above all the rest. Full disclosure, before the movie Thor Ragnarok, I could have cared less about Thor or more so with the Hulk. After watching Ragnarok, which I was not expecting to like whatsoever, I was on the Thor and Hulk bandwagon. I was basically counting down the days when this enormous guy would be released, and he does not disappoint. This is a fabulous figure and definitely a head-turner, especially since this guy practically towers every figure Hot Toys or not. As I said in my previous review, he's basically a small statue that you can articulate. I remember the day I got him, I must have spent nearly an hour doing nothing but looking at him, fiddling with the accessories, and posing the figure around. Given the enormity of this figure, there's just so many things to do or take notice of. From the nicely detailed and texturized clothing of the pseudo-leather-like combat skirt and giant shoulder plate, to the expressive and savage look of the face. And that's not to mention his pulverizing and death-dealing weapons. This figure's got it all. And the articulation is pretty good given the size of the figure. Yeah, this is not the figure you're going to pull some death-defying poses with, but the articulation he comes with is adequate enough to pose him in some menacing and threatening positions. I mean, if the face and muscles weren't ferocious enough for you already. You can definitely get the Hulk in some pretty good poses, whether he's pounding his opponents to bits with his great hammer or using his plain old fist to smash in someone's head. Nothing's going to stop this green monster from carrying out some destructive and frightening poses, especially since most of his gear easily moves along with his body, making an aerial double-fisted smash a deadly reality. And that concludes my top 5 Hot Toys figures of 2018. Concur or disagree? I'd like to hear from you in the comments section. Which Hot Toys figure do you think should be at the top spot? I'm Otaku Surf, and I'll see you around.